Alright, Schlockmeister fans, we're going to watch something called The Secret of SEAGULL Island. Ever heard of it? Let's watch. Our movie starts with Barbara traveling to Rome. She's going to go get her sister, Marianne.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Jerry. I don't know where. She must be. She's studying here to academy. Now,
This is Enzo, played by Gabriele Tinti, Laura Gemser's real-life husband.
Oh, you want something to drink?
He apparently had been hanging around with Marianne a little bit.
An underwater fisherman found a girl with a concrete block tied to her feet.
Apparently there's some other missing women around Rome,
Monte Cristo Island.
and they're all blind. Marianne's apparently been found injured but alive. It's not her. Barbara sneaks aboard Enzo's boat because she thinks he knows more than he was leading on.
Curious, I think, because no one seems to know him, but not with David Marco.
Not sure what's exactly happening here. This is Barbara, and this is somebody in a hospital room or something. Barbara has a plan. She's going to pretend that she's blind. I believe this is Enzo underwater now, and somebody's dropping little bombs. So Barbara is now undercover as a blind woman. Of course, she's not really blind.
and you?
I'm David now.
She meets David, who owns a private island. Barbara gets herself into a little bit of trouble here. Someone's stalking her.
Barbara.
Or not.
Curious about it.
She runs into David again, who invites her to his island.
So you're on your...
So they're arriving on the island, and this is Carol. I believe that's the cousin of David. Barbara's wandering around the island, and she finds this other house. There's supposed to be nobody else on the island but David and Carol. Here we learn about David's son, Frederick.
Yes, my son.
And we get a little history here about Frederick being scarred.
Beautiful face. Was disfigured. So scarred. So horrible to me.
For what you made me go through. You and Carol. Damn her! Just one more thing. Be very careful not to hurt Barbara.
All of a sudden, Enzo shows up on the island.
What have they done to you?
No, they haven't done anything. I said,
She reveals to David and Carol that she's not blind.
see, look. I convinced me that poor blind girls should be tortured and frightened so much that they prefer to die.
I don't know who is more crazy, you or Frederick.
That's how that one girl jumped out the window. Enzo gets attacked underwater. He actually gets knifed, but he manages to kill the other guy too.
Why are you here?
Well, when I saw the schooner, I decided I must talk to Enzo. I thought that Frederick was in danger.
So Barbara goes scuba diving, and she ends up in this underwater cave. Now inside this cave, there's another little dwelling of some sort, and inside that dwelling is Marianne.
No, Marianne. Just be patient a little while longer. And if Frederick comes here, please don't tell him about us.
Carol and Barbara are leaving. But somebody pulls Carol under and finds David floating in a swimming pool. Pretending to be dead, apparently.
That's all I can do for you.
She goes back to that cave house.
You have to put you away. I should have done it long ago.
But David and Frederick are the same person. He's clearly crazy, and arguing both roles.
You talk to me of damnation. You, who killed your own wife. You, who killed your own son. Oh, yes, you killed me. You killed me, Father. And it's justice.
No.
He's speaking both roles.
Yes, Father. Oh, yes.
And he sets fire to the house that he's in. Chaos all around, and David / Frederick, where they are rescued, thus ending our film. Alright, let's talk about The Secret of Seagull Island. This is a movie that actually was on cable when I was a little kid. I think it, like March of 1982, in that area there. Like one of the first cable guides I had, this was showing. I never actually saw the movie, at least I don't think I did, but years later I tried to track it down because I was trying to track down everything from my past. And I was able to track down a PAL VHS tape of this, which I still have. And then I watched it and I didn't think it was all that great. But now that I want to upgrade everything to DVDs, or DVRs in this case, I have to find it again. And I did find a place that was selling a DVD-R of it. So that's what this is. We created the box art here at home, and now we have The Secret of Seagull Island. The movie itself is actually a 5-hour miniseries that was showed in the UK in 1981. What we have here is a shortened version of an hour and 43 minutes. They shortened it down to a feature-length film. In fact, if you look on IMDb and look up Secret of Seagull Island, it says not to be confused with, the movie or the series, but they are taken from the same thing. So I don't know why. Anyway, we have a woman who is searching for her sister, Marianne. Marianne is blind, and it turns out there's been a string of missing blind girls. So she thinks her sister might be one of those, and she tries to figure it out. Well, she ends up going to this island owned by this guy, David, I think his name was. He owns a private island. Turns out David has a son named Frederick who is deformed. I shouldn't say deformed. He's scarred and disfigured. Some sort of accident involving his wife. And anyway, his son lives on this island alone now, or lives like his own little house on this island alone, and he's disfigured. But I guess they've been bringing blind girls to him to help him and stuff. But because a blind girl can't see his disfigurement, so she wouldn't be grossed out by it. So she naturally puts the two together and figures out that her sister may have come here. And eventually she tracks her sister down. She's still alive. I think some of the other blind girls had died, but this one, her sister was still alive. And ultimately she ends up trying to rescue her. And then we find out near the end there that David, the father, and Frederick are the same person. He's got some sort of, I don't want to say Jekyll and Hyde thing going there, but he's just the same person. He's clearly crazy. Ultimately, Barbara and Marianne escape, and Frederick / David starts his little shack on fire. It's like in this underground cave and under the water type thing, and presumably he dies, and then the two get saved, and that's it. There you go. Also of note in this movie was Gabriel Tinti. He played Enzo. He was in real life married to Laura Gemser of Emmanuel fame. In fact, I have a ton of movies with Gabriel Tinti, Emmanuel movies or Emmanuel type movies. He has a ton of them. This is the only one I've seen where he didn't get naked or there was all kinds of sex going on. This was like a regular, for lack of a better term, mainstream role for him. Very rare for Gabriel Tinti. But anyway, you can't find this movie on DVD, at least not that I'm aware of. But you can, there are DVD-Rs of it floating around out there if you can find it. So, and that's what I got here. So, got some homemade box art for it, and that's pretty much it. So, it's okay for what it is. But it's a little strange. It's a little incoherent, I think, at times, because they tried to shorten it down from 5 hours to an hour and 40 minutes. So, I think they lost a lot in translation there. But anyway, it's okay for what it is. So, check it out. Let me know what you think about it. I'm just curious if anybody else has seen this little thing besides me. Maybe it's streaming somewhere. I don't know. But let me know. Leave some comments. We'll talk about it. Secret of Seagull Island. Watch it. Bye.